Angel Reese, a name that resonates strongly within the basketball community, has faced an unexpected blow. The young athlete, widely recognized for her fierce competitive spirit and infectious personality, received a lifetime suspension from the WNBA. This suspension sent ripples through the sports world, leaving fans and analysts scratching their heads and debating not just the reason but also the impact this decision might have on Reese's promising career and future. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. To set the scene, Angel Reese is not just another player on the court. Known for her strong presence in college basketball, Reese made a name for herself by playing with a level of intensity that few could match. She was the embodiment of hustle, running down every loose ball, driving aggressively to the basket, and staring down opponents with a confidence that bordered on defiance. She's not just all muscle and no mind. She plays with purpose and precision, combining those two with a touch of bravado that made every game feel personal to her. Fans loved it, opponents feared it, and for a while, it seemed like she was on a fast track to becoming one of the most memorable players in the league. But then came the shocking announcement. A lifetime suspension from the WNBA isn't handed out for mere slip-ups. It was as if a dark cloud hung over the career of this rising star, casting long shadows on what should have been bright years ahead. The official statement was blunt: no fluff, no sugarcoating, just a direct hit to a young player's career. The specifics of the violation were not made public immediately, which led to wild speculations on social media, with fans going from shocked disbelief to dramatic outrage. Reese wasn't just another player with good stats. She was a personality in her own right. Known for her expressive reactions during games, she became a bit of a meme factory online. Whether it was her celebratory shouts after an impossible layup, or the way she'd wave her hands in the air to amp up the crowd, Reese played like she was born for the spotlight. For her, basketball was more than just putting points on the board. It was her platform, her stage. The reaction to her suspension wasn't confined to just the basketball community. Fans from all walks of life had something to say. On one hand, there were those who felt it was a harsh call, especially for a player still finding her footing in the professional league. On the other, there were whispers of Reese's attitude being her own worst enemy. She was never shy to speak her mind, even if it meant clashing with officials or calling out opponents. This bluntness might have played a part in the events leading up to her suspension. But what exactly did she do to get herself into this predicament? The league kept the details under wraps, leading to all kinds of wild guesses. Some theorized it might have been about conduct off the court, maybe something that crossed the line between confidence and controversy. Others wondered if it involved a clash with league officials or disagreements that got out of hand. Reese, however, remained tight-lipped, choosing not to spill the beans in public, which only fueled the rumor mill. Her history has been anything but ordinary. Reese was never just a typical basketball prodigy. Growing up, she was known in her neighborhood as the kid who always carried a ball, dribbling everywhere. She went like it was an extension of her body. If you walked down her street at any given moment, there was a decent chance you'd see her practicing crossover moves in front of her house, testing them on her unamused dog, or yelling at invisible referees for a bad call in her imaginary championship game. This relentless drive paid off during her college career, where she quickly stood out as a game-changer. Reese's talent for turning the tide in crucial moments became her trademark. She had a knack for coming alive in those last nail-biting minutes when the game was on the line. With her imposing frame, she wasn't afraid to get physical under the rim, often drawing fouls and sending opponents sprawling. It was a gritty style of play, no doubt, but it was exactly what made her such a captivating figure. However, along with the hustle and heart came moments of heated confrontation. Reese had a tendency to wear her emotions on her sleeve, whether it was glaring at a referee after a call or getting in the face of an opponent she thought was playing too rough. She didn't back down from challenges, physical or verbal. It was this very trait that endeared her to fans but also created a certain tension on the court. Coaches and teammates seemed to understand that this was just part of the Angel Reese experience, even if it sometimes led to awkward moments. When the news of the suspension broke, some within the sports world couldn't help but chuckle darkly, pointing out that maybe the fire that made Reese such a joy to watch was also what led her to this suspension. In their view, the same no-nonsense, in-your-face intensity that defined her on the court might have been what landed her in hot water with league authorities. It was almost a cliché waiting to happen, a young star so full of confidence that she tripped over her own ambition. Others, however, were less amused and far more sympathetic. They argued that Reese had been put under a microscope unfairly, with her every move and comment scrutinized. Some claim that male players with similar attitudes rarely faced such harsh judgments. Angel wasn't just a player. She was a symbol, a representation of boldness and unfiltered expression in a league that's still grappling with its identity. Behind the scenes, there's a lot to unpack about how someone as promising as Angel Reese ended up on the wrong side of the league's rules. There are hints at strained relationships with coaches, suggestions of a lack of mentorship, and speculations about poor guidance. When a player with such potential finds themselves in a situation like this, it often points to a wider problem within the system. Reese might have been the face of her suspension, but her story was likely a reflection of deeper issues in the league's structure and culture. Throughout all this, Reese's public reaction has been surprisingly muted. Known for her outspokenness, her silence on the matter has been unusual. It might be that she's taking this time to reflect, or maybe she's working behind the scenes to try and resolve the situation. Her fans are left waiting, eyes glued to social media feeds for any hint of a response or explanation. This silence from such a vocal figure was unsettling, and it added another layer to the story that no one saw coming. One of the more humorous elements in all this is that Reese's flair for dramatics was so embedded in her personality that fans speculated she might release a video to address the suspension, complete with her signature eye roll and exaggerated sighs. Her diehard supporters joked that if anyone could make a suspension announcement entertaining, it would be Angel Reese. But this time, there were no theatrics. Just a deafening quiet that left everyone guessing what she was really thinking. The implications of this suspension go beyond just Angel Reese. It's a statement by the WNBA, a message to the players and the public about the league's expectations and tolerance. Suspending a player for life isn't a decision made lightly, and it shows just how seriously the league took whatever incident led to this outcome. For the WNBA, which has been fighting to carve out its place in the sports landscape, this is a defining moment. The league is signaling that no player, regardless of their popularity or talent, is above the rules. However, this also raises questions about the league's willingness to support and nurture its young stars. Angel Reese's suspension will undoubtedly be a hot topic for years to come, serving as a cautionary tale for rising players who look up to her. It's a reminder of the double-edged sword of fame and the fine line between confidence and controversy. In the end, Angel Reese's suspension feels like a story still being written. It's one of those moments that might either be a turning point for her growth as a person or a roadblock that derails her career entirely. For now, all we can do is watch and wait, hoping that whatever happens next, Reese finds a way to channel that fire in a way that lights up the path forward rather than burning it down. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.